Behind the stiff and cold concept of a music video set inside a men's restroom, a hilarious bit of chaos unfolded when Jimin secretly set out on a mission to break Jungkook's concentration. While the cameras captured tense, introspective expressions, an entirely different story was taking place behind the scenes. A playful game filled with laughter that left the entire production crew struggling to keep a straight face. It became yet another real behind-the-scenes story, proving that beneath BTS's professionalism lies an unexpected and mischievous dynamic between Jimin and Jungkook, capable of brightening even the most rigid atmosphere. Welcome to Jimin Gallery, the home for Park Jimin fans who want to discover all the latest news, interesting facts, and stories behind the world's spotlight on Jimin. The filming location for BTS's latest music video was suddenly filled with laughter behind the scenes as the members prepared to shoot one of the most unique concepts for their album. According to the planned storyboard, the production team transformed the set into a cold, sterile men's restroom. A row of urinals was installed with precise attention to detail, creating the awkward and monotonous atmosphere of a public restroom. Staff members moved back and forth, making sure every aspect of the lighting and props perfectly matched the artistic vision of the production. Amid the tension created for the performance, the BTS members stood side by side in deliberately awkward positions. The concept required every man in the room to wear introspective expressions while doing everything possible to avoid making eye contact. Silence settled over the set, making the restroom scene feel surprisingly realistic and socially uncomfortable. Yet behind their serious expressions for the camera, one member was secretly plotting a mischievous distraction. Standing several positions away from Jungkook, Jimin appeared to have a completely different plan for the scene. Even with the distance between them, he couldn't resist the opportunity to tease his younger teammate. From afar, his playful eyes remained fixed on Jungkook, who was trying his best to stay focused on his acting. Jimin began sending a series of subtle signals that only the two of them could understand. At first, Jungkook stayed committed to his role, staring straight ahead with a perfectly convincing blank expression. But Jimin's exaggerated movements gradually crept into the corner of his vision. Whenever the main camera wasn't directly focused on him, Jimin deliberately pulled funny and unexpected facial expressions. He occasionally winked or made exaggerated lip movements, all with the goal of making Jungkook laugh. Jimin's playful antics created a hilarious contrast against the music video's intentionally serious and awkward concept. Even the staff watching from behind the monitors had to fight back laughter to avoid interrupting the filming process. His fearless determination to stir up trouble in the middle of such a quiet set quickly became entertainment for everyone on location. Ironically, the harder Jungkook tried to ignore him, the more motivated Jimin became to continue his harmless teasing. Not stopping there, Jimin escalated his efforts by making subtle but strange body movements that wouldn't be caught by the main camera. He swayed slightly and flashed hand gestures, silently urging Jungkook to react. Seeing that Jimin refused to give up, Jungkook began struggling to maintain his composure. The corners of his mouth twitched ever so slightly, a clear sign that he was on the verge of bursting into laughter because of his bandmates' antics. The tension that had been carefully created to portray the awkward atmosphere of a men's restroom gradually transformed into a playful game between Jimin and Jungkook. Sensing that his mission was succeeding, Jimin became even more mischievous. At times, he pretended to stumble or struck bizarre poses in hopes that Jungkook would glance his way. The entire filming set quickly shifted from feeling tense to becoming remarkably relaxed and full of energy. Unable to withstand the constant teasing any longer, Jungkook finally shot Jimin a sharp glance that clearly signaled, "Stop." But Jimin interpreted the look as nothing more than a challenge. He responded by unleashing his final move, making tiny, bizarre noises that were quiet enough to avoid disturbing the set but loud enough for Jungkook to hear. Those unexpected sounds completely shattered the concentration Jungkook had worked so hard to maintain throughout filming. The production staff soon realized that something amusing was unfolding between the two members. Watching from a distance, the director could only shake his head with a smile as Jimin continued his endless mischief. Nevertheless, they allowed the playful moment to continue because it brought a natural and refreshing atmosphere to the behind-the-scenes environment. After all, the close friendship among the members often created positive energy that spread throughout the entire production crew. Jimin looked as though he thoroughly enjoyed his role as the troublemaker on an otherwise serious set. Every time he caught Jungkook desperately trying not to laugh while standing in front of the urinals, he seemed even more satisfied. For Jimin, this was simply the perfect way to lighten the mood during an exhausting filming schedule. He knew better than anyone that Jungkook had always been especially vulnerable to his playful sense of humor. Filming continued with multiple takes from different camera angles. Every time the camera shifted focus elsewhere, Jimin seized the opportunity to resume his teasing. By now, Jungkook could no longer pretend to remain completely serious and gradually found himself joining the playful game Jimin had started. Every so often, the two exchanged quick glances, each barely managing to suppress their laughter in the middle of the scene. The silence that had originally been intended to create tension slowly transformed into a heartwarming moment of friendship. Staff members who had previously been monitoring the screens with complete seriousness eventually found themselves laughing along with the two idols. What had been planned as a music video filled with stiff, introspective tension became equally memorable for the cheerful laughter shared between takes. Between takes, Jimin would often walk over to Jungkook and whisper something funny in his ear. Jungkook, who had initially tried to ignore the teasing, eventually gave in and responded with genuine laughter. Before long, the two became the center of attention on set, not because of their acting, but because of their adorable interactions. Moments like these are what make every BTS filming session such a memorable and heartwarming experience for everyone involved. It wasn't only Jimin who contributed to the cheerful atmosphere. The other members nearby soon found themselves joining in, occasionally adding their own jokes to Jimin's playful remarks. What had been designed as a cold and awkward men's restroom set gradually transformed into a place filled with laughter and positive energy. Their natural chemistry ultimately complemented the intentionally uncomfortable concept, creating a unique behind-the-scenes dynamic that fans would undoubtedly enjoy watching. Although the finished music video would appear visually cold and serious, the atmosphere on set was anything but. Jimin once again proved that he has a remarkable ability to brighten any situation. Even while performing a concept that required the members to avoid interacting with one another, he still found creative ways to stay connected with Jungkook. In his own way, Jungkook seemed grateful that Jimin's playful humor helped relieve the stress of an exhausting filming schedule. Together, they struck a perfect balance between professionalism and genuine friendship. Whenever the director called for another retake, Jimin calmly returned to his starting position with a serious expression. But the moment the camera started rolling again, he couldn't resist sneaking another mischievous glance toward Jungkook. Having already figured out Jimin's pattern, Jungkook was far more prepared this time and did his best not to fall into the same trap. Even so, their playful battle only became more entertaining while always remaining respectful of the filming process. This certainly wasn't the first time playful teasing had taken place among the BTS members. Yet moments like these never lost their charm. Years of working together had created an extraordinary bond that allowed them to understand one another without saying much at all. The subtle signals Jimin exchanged with Jungkook reflected just how naturally close they had become over the years. It is one of the many reasons BTS's chemistry has always felt so genuine to fans. After several retakes, the director was finally satisfied with the footage. The members gathered for a short break while reviewing the recorded scenes on the monitors. As soon as they watched the clips of Jimin trying to distract Jungkook, everyone burst into laughter. By pure coincidence, some of those playful moments have been captured on camera and would likely become one of the highlights of the behind-the-scenes video. Wearing a satisfied smile, Jimin looked genuinely proud of the playful chaos he had created that day. He felt no regret about breaking the silence of what had otherwise been a rather serious filming environment. Jungkook openly admitted that Jimin's antics had actually been an effective way to chase away the boredom that naturally comes with long hours of filming. By the end of the scene, both of them appeared relaxed, cheerful, and completely at ease. The entire production crew was delighted that the filming session had progressed so smoothly despite the constant laughter around the set. They hoped the finished music video would leave a lasting impression on fans by combining its distinctive artistic concept with the members' authentic chemistry behind the scenes. Jimin and Jungkook's playful interactions would become an entertaining addition to the story surrounding the music video, serving as another reminder that behind every serious production are